Welcome once again to Commander by Danon. Today's video was brought to us by Patreon supporters Ignis and Cookie. Huge thanks to Ignis, Cookie, and the rest of my Patreon supporters. Cookie reached out asking for a $100 budget list built around Shalai and Hallar. Ignis reached out asking for a more high-powered version in the $500 range. So once again, we're getting a 2-deck special. But before we get started, I'd like to quickly ask you to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel, and it's free. With that out of the way, let's get into the video. Shalai and Hallar are a 4-mana 3/3 legendary angel elf with flying and vigilance. Additionally, whenever one or more +1/+1 counters are put on a creature we control, Shalai and Hallar deal that much damage to target opponent. So we want to put +1/+1 counters on creatures, and fast. The more counters we put on our creatures, the more damage Shalai and Hallar can deal. I've seen this deck explode, and even the budget version is very powerful. But we don't just want hydras or creatures that come into play with a couple of counters. We want creatures that we can grow. We also want ways to protect our creatures and to have the ability to cast our spells. Good thing we've got our handy-dandy checklist. 50 mana sources, usually split between 37 lands and 13 pieces of ramp, 10 pieces of card advantage, 8 to 10 pieces of spot removal, 2 to 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate, and 1 sudden I win card. Let's start with the budget build, and then we'll move on to the more expensive one. Command Tower, Exotic Orchard, Jungle Shrine, Karplusan Forest, Brushland, Battlefield Forge, Temple of Abandon, Temple of Plenty, Temple of Triumph, Slagwoods Bridge, Thornglint Bridge, Rustvale Bridge, Gruul Guildgate, Selesnya Guildgate, Boros Guildgate, Gruul Turf, Selesnya Sanctuary, Boros Garrison, Scavenger Grounds, 5 mountains, 8 forests, and 5 plains make up our land base. Rishkar Pima Renegade, Gyre Sage, Kami of Whispered Hopes, and Hamza Guardian of Arashin make up our on-theme ramp. But we've also got Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Rampant Growth, Nature's Lore, Farseek, Cultivate, Kodama's Reach, Circuitous Route, and Migration Path to help us ramp. Dusk Legion Duelist, Inspiring Call, Big Score, Unexpected Windfall, Harmonize, Combustible Gearhulk, Magus of the Wheel, Secret Rendezvous, Beast Whisperer, and Sun Titan to help us dig through our deck. Cankerbloom, Snakeskin Veil, Swords to Plowshares, Return to Nature, Beast Within, Generous Gift, Titania's Command, Abrade, Destroy Evil, and Return to Dust help to serve as spot removal for our deck. Blasphemous Act and Damning Verdict help us to reset the board as needed. Mikaeus the Lunarch, Champion of Lampholt, Grumgully the Generous, Managorger Hydra, Rosy Cotton of Southlane, Tarian Mauler, Scurry Oak, Forgotten Ancient, Halana and Elena Partners, Sunscorch Regent, Bone Sabers, Cathar's Crusade, Bright Palm Soul Awakener, Abzan Falconer, Armorcraft Judge, Shalai Voice of Plenty, Evolution Sage, Abzan Battle Priest, Krenko 10 Street Kingpin, Loyal Guardian, Juniper Order Ranger, and Master Chef all work to put +1/+1 counters on our creatures, either themselves or others. But we've also got Conclave Mentor, Good Fortune Unicorn, Hardened Scales, and Rhythm of the Wild to help with our plan, as well as All Will Be One serving as a backup win condition. Now that we have our deck list, let's compare it to our checklist. 50 mana sources split between 37 lands and 13 pieces of ramp. Right on target. 10 pieces of card advantage. 10 pieces of spot removal. 2 board wipes. 3 pieces of graveyard hate in Return to Nature, Scavenger Grounds, and Titania's Command. 1 Sudden I Win card in Scurry Oak. No, seriously, this card, when combined with either Rosy Cotton of South Lane or Cathar's Crusade, goes infinite and we kill the table. I know some of you may frown on infinite combos in budget lists, but remember, we don't have any tutors to find our combo. The cards that will be scary to our opponents are the ones that grow every time they cast spells. Cards like Tarian Mauler, Sunscorch Regent, and Loyal Guardian can get out of control without spot removal. So it's important to run card advantage or graveyard recursion in order to cast more of them, or recover them after a board wipe. Now, before we get started with our second deck list, a quick word from our sponsor, Ultimate Guard. Ultimate Guard is famous for their boulder, and they now have the new Boulderin Tray. Designed to carry both your commander deck and enough dice to satisfy anyone but a dice goblin, you can get yours in a variety of colors, like the emerald one seen here. Find out if your local game store carries the Ultimate Guard Boulderin Tray, or click on the link down below to order yourself one from Amazon. Command Tower, Exotic Orchard, Wooded Foothills, Windswept Heath, Arid Mesa, Scalding Tarn, Verdant Catacombs, Marsh Flats, Chetmere's Garden, Stomping Ground, Temple Garden, Sacred Foundry, Spire Garden, Bountiful Promenade, Spectator Seating, Rockfall Vale, Overgrown Farmland, Sundown Pass, Rootbound Crag, Sunpetal Grove, Clifftop Retreat, Highland Forest, Arctic Treeline, Alpine Meadow, Scavenger Grounds, 3 Mountains, 5 Forests, and 3 Plains. Rishkar, Pima Renegade, Gyre Sage, Kami of Whispered Hopes, and Hamza, Guardian of Erishan, make up our on-theme ramp, but we've also got Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Rampant Growth, 3 Visits, Nature's Lore, Farseek, Cultivate, Kodama's Reach, and Skyshroud Claim. Jeska's Will, Eladamri's Call, Harmonize, Wheel of Misfortune, Sylvan Library, Dusk Legion Duelist, Big Score, Rishkar's Expertise, Tribute to the World Tree, Idyllic Tutor, and Inspiring Call make up our card advantage package. Swords to Plowshares, Cankerbloom, Generous Gift, Beast Within, Heroic Intervention, Boros Charm, Teferi's Protection, Snakeskin Veil, Titania's Command, Return to Nature, Aura Shards, and Semester's End help us to protect our board while also destroying our opponent's stuff. Farewell and Damning Verdict, keeping it simple. Rosy Cotton of South Lane, Forgotten Ancient, Managorger Hydra, Macias the Lunarch, Halana and Elena Partners, Shalai, Voice of Plenty, Defiler of Vigor, Tarian Mauler, Sunscorch Regent, Grumgully the Generous, Walking Ballista, Benevolent Hydra, Avenger of Zendikar, Scurry Oak, Bone Sabers, Felidar Retreat, Cathar's Crusade, and Master Chef make up the core for this deck. But we've also got Hardened Scales, Ozolith the Shattered Spire, All Will Be One, Rhythm of the Wild, the Ozolith, Good Fortune Unicorn, and Branching Evolution to help out with our plan of putting counters on our creatures. Now that we have our deck list, let's compare it to our checklist. 49 mana sources split between 36 lands and 13 pieces of ramp. Right on target. 11 pieces of card advantage. 12 pieces of spot removal. 2 board wipes. 4 pieces of graveyard hate in Return to Nature, Scavenger Grounds, Farewell, and Titania's Command. 1 sudden I win card in Scurry Oak. So the plan for this deck is basically the same as our budget option. We want our commander on board, and we want a lot of creatures with +1/+1 counters. This deck is quite a bit faster, as our lands mostly don't come into play tapped. We've got fetches to find lands, so that gives us better mana fixing, and we've got better ramp as well. Our interaction is much more nuanced, and we're better able to protect ourselves when needed. But the core of this deck is basically unchanged, except for a couple cards. But all in all, I'm happy with both decks, and would have a lot of fun playing this commander. Do you have a Shalai and Hallar deck? What are some of the key cards in your build? Leave a comment below. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cutestuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, she can be reached at cutestuff.edits@gmail.com. Link is down below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. One of the tiers is specifically set up for Commander. For only $25, I will build you a custom Commander deck based around your specifications, and even do a deck video on it. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Jiraiya, Danny, Muffins, Marcus, Squishy, Brett, Ignis, Roxy, Josh, Sean, Pob Zombie, Mark, Alex, Daniel, Steve, Kevin, Alex, Cookie, Nick, and Borgie. You guys are awesome. I post new Commander deck videos often, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. Also, if you're a fan of anime and manga like I am, feel free to check out my other channel, Musings by Danon. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Commander by Danon.